snacks.
What it do, snackers, snackettes, snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I'm here with the homie Jokes.
Yo.
And the homie Sin.
Yes, sir.
Hey Sin, pop that chat up in here, man. You are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about things that are happening in pop culture. And today,
What up, Perk?
What up, Perk? Today we're doing something special. Yes, we're gonna talk about Spider-Man a little bit. I got a little spider swag.
Just a little light.
A little spider swag. I've never worn this. This is from.
I was gonna ask you if that was brand new because I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either. Yeah.
Hey, dog, listen. This joint is from the first Spider-Man, like
this man got
OG joint. Like 2001, dog. This joint has never been off a hanger.
Oh, exclusive.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's all fresh off the early 2000s.
I'll never wear this in public, but like, you know what I'm saying? For y'all, for the show, like I could do it. Like it's a real thing. Marcus, yes, you here before Ty. What up, Cuddy?
Yes.
What up, Perk?
Chris,
what up? My man says, I'm literally writing the end of my latest book while watching you tonight. I appreciate that. And I hope that all the good vibes we have today transmit their way into your writings this evening.
What up, Frosty?
Chris Lightning, what up? Frosty, what's happening? Frosty and Marcus at the same time?
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem. At some point.
So we are also going to discuss the Matrix Resurrections. I'm gonna tell you right now. Possible spoilers, probably not. But possible spoilers, because I don't care. We'll get to that. Look, Frosty's already on it. Like, listen, come here. Let me tell you what's what. Hold on a second. We got to change things. And then, wham, we're going to do some straight up community building. So this episode, outside of talking about those things, is going to be all about focusing on you all of you great, wonderful folks that are hanging out with us in the chat, that are here week in and week out, hanging out with us. We, again, are always talking about how part of what we really want to do is make sure that we continue to build the community. We want to do just that, even if they're fighting in the chat. So, we're going to be taking the time to make sure we highlight some of the good folks that are here. We got a bunch of emails and a bunch of messages, and we have a bunch of images and a lot of links and stuff to share and show. And I'm gonna tell you something. What's up, Heather?
What up, Heather?
Y'all do not make it easy. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. So we have some things that we need to do as a community and as builders and whatever to help each other out, besides doing things like this. And we're definitely going to talk about some of those things. Here's where I want to start. Hey, dog. Spider-Man No Way Home has pulled in over $1 billion during COVID.
Okay, they don't care. They're going out there to see this movie.
During the shuttest of shutdowns. This movie might be single-handedly responsible for spreading the most disease.
Probably so.
Yeah.
It could be a real thing. I've been to see it 3 times. And I'm not done. But I've been to see this movie 3 times. There will not be any Spidey spoilers at all.
Nope.
That I will tell you for sure, J. Robert Deans. However,
we did that in Spoiler Boys.
We did that for 2 hours and
2 hours. MCU length Spoiler Boys.
Frosty, you finally saw it Sunday. What'd you think? Just give me the overall. Give me the 1 out of 10 or you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Give me a grade. Give me something. Sin.
Yeah.
What specifically do you think it is about this movie that is driving people to the theater? Like, can you imagine, Senor Nash? Hey,
yeah.
You know, Nash, since you're here, I think I sent you a message. I need an image or something from you. Do you have like a logo or something you can shoot me? Just shoot me an email real quick. I'll make sure I get it and upload it when we go to present your information. If you can do that, I'd appreciate it. But I agree. Frosty said 9 out of 10. That's acceptable. He said 10 out of 10. I'm with that. Why, Sin? What is it about this?
Well, one, it's Spider-Man, and let's keep it real. That's one of the most recognizable characters and one of the most popular characters on the planet. Period. Point blank. You know what I mean? Like everybody just loves Spider-Man. Sure. But it was the thoughts and the hopes and dreams that they were going to multiverse this thing. And when I say that, I mean by possibly bringing in Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in there and have them on screen together. It was that hope and wish we've had ever since teasers and images and stuff like that are getting leaked or whatever. And I think to see the positive reviews come back and it giving us everything that we've wanted waiting up to it, like it didn't fail us pretty much at all. I think that's the cause of it. Like I said, people who grew up with those older franchises getting getting what they want with this movie.
Facts. 100%. Jokes. What's again, like we want to steer clear of spoilers and all that kind of stuff, but I want to know what you think the draw actually is.
Similar to what Sen said, but I think with how the MCU just keeps
Heather says, hey, pop that on the screen for me.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I laughed, I cried, I thwipped.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yep. Oh man, but just this year, obviously MCU and the connection that it keeps with every single movie that comes out. So that's one piece of the pie. It's just you knew with everything that has happened within the shows on Disney Plus, WandaVision, Loki, we know in Doctor Strange being involved with this, the whole multiverse of madness thing that's coming. We knew the Spider-Man movie was going to be another piece of that catalyst, and I think it drew in more people. Of course, Spider-Man fans from way back when up till now, plus the fact it's like, how is this going to tie into the MCU? So all the people that have either have been along for the ride since the beginning, or people that jumped on later down the road. But I think the sheer thing of it is just when those trailers pop and, we see villains from the first franchise, villains from the second franchise showing up in here, it's pulling in a different fan base each way that you look at it. Granted, Spider-Man as a whole is going to be a fan base, but you know what? You have people that love these villains from the first set of movies. You have these people that love the villains from the second set of movies. I say that one a little bit loosely, but but overall, it's just the overall connection with the MCU and the possibilities that this was going to entail outside of just Spider-Man is what's going to do it.
Hey, listen, Frosty said she was the only person that cheered in her theater. She was mad about it. I want you to know, Frosty. Me too.
I feel bad for y'all.
But not in your first viewing though. It wasn't in your first viewing. It was in the other ones.
Me?
The first viewing, didn't people cheer in your first viewing?
Nah, it was in my first viewing.
His first one. He didn't have nobody.
Dog, listen, it was like it was too early. You know what I'm saying? It was like I went.
Sam, we had that conversation.
Yeah. I'm remembering that.
Yeah, I almost feel like I got stuck in a joint where that was just like people who wanted to try to get there and see it before the people like us got there. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we ruined it for people like that.
You picked the wrong theater to go to. I had my theater was the one that had all of us in there.
Oh, mine was lit.
I went to a 3 p.m. joint like Thursday though, like technically the day before, and it was just like I don't know. Rhythm and Views, what up? Let's see. My first and second viewings were lit. The crowd was going crazy, but then the third one around Christmas Day was boring. Hey, listen, my last joint was chill, but I will tell you that the one I actually just went and saw it again yesterday, but we actually rented out the theater. So it was just us. It was like 20 of us had the theater to ourselves. So it's like, even though it wasn't like crazy, we all knew, you know what I'm saying? Like you didn't have to, you could just soak it in. But it was a lot of my family, and a lot of them had not had the opportunity to see it yet. So it was really cool to do that. Amazing. See, Javon said his theater was going crazy. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. I didn't get none of that.
You just
I didn't get none of that.
Your crowd did not understand the assignment.
It don't even matter. It don't matter. I was ready, bro. Listen, I had it. I had enough for everybody in that joint. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we can talk about the De La Soul banger in the credits because that joint was a banger. They snuck that in there. And I also felt like I was one of the only people who knew who that was, what that was in the credits, for real. So speaking to your age there, Cuddy. Yeah, look, I just think that the phenomenon, I think mostly what it is that this speaks to the positive history of what Spider-Man movies have been.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, regardless of how people talk bad about like Spider-Man 3 and like people didn't like it, like those joints still made crazy money. And for a lot of people, that was their introduction to those characters. Like, they didn't know who Venom was before that movie. They didn't know Sandman. They didn't know, you know what I mean? So like, regardless of how we, as the ones who cheer and go nuts or whatever in the theater, like for so many people, that was it for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they knew those movies. When they did Andrew, like, they knew those movies. And so most people, I think, have a very positive association with those films, with Spider-Man as a franchise, whether it's the movies, the cartoons, you know what I mean, the TV shows, like whatever. Like, I think most people have very positive thoughts and feelings about it. And so it's just like, oh, they doing another one. I like the last one. I'm gonna go see this one. And for this one to be tied as intrinsically as it is to the MCU, I think just adds to that. It's like bonus points. Because it's, you know, Shang-Chi might have done better numbers if it hadn't been so early. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, Eternals might have done better numbers, but it was maybe a little too heavy for some people. But I feel like the other thing is, like, people don't know Shang-Chi, so you're going into something completely unexpected. You don't know what you're getting. People know exactly what they're getting when they walk into a Spider-Man film, or at least they think they do. You know what I mean? And so I feel like people feel like it's a safe bet that, like, if I pay the money and I go to the theater and risk my health or well-being to do it, chances are I'm at least going to enjoy myself and feel like it was worth it. You understand what I'm saying? Where, like, these other films, I'm taking a chance. And I think that just has a lot to do with it. Looking forward to taking my wife. See the Heart of Stone cracks in during this film, which everyone cried during. Let me tell you something.
She probably
finna crack.
Yeah, she probably gonna
that
crack.
stone is gonna get.
She finna crack. There's no
tears of happiness, tears of joy, tears of sadness, like every version of tears
the whole spectrum. Yeah, you get the whole spectrum.
Tony Diane was like, so, like, who cares? Yeah, you know, look, I don't know what her connection is to any of the films as a whole, if like any of them actually really matter to her as characters, but I do think that, like, they sell this joint multiple times in this movie is what I'll say. Marcus says it's really the first major phase movie, which is why it is successful. I don't know if I agree with that, but sure.
I mean, this one could have came in mid-phase. This one could have been somewhere lost in translation and still would pull the exact same thing off, honestly.
Yeah.
There's no way, there's no two ways about that.
The hopes and promises of what this movie, you know, was supposed to be. Yeah, you weren't. Yeah. No matter when.
I'm gonna give J. Robert Dean's extra points for getting a Paula Abdul shout out in the comments.
That's dope.
Like,
that's dope.
Yeah, like, well done, sir. well done, sir. Super well done. Okay, now The Matrix Resurrections. Let's just deal with the elephant in the room. I don't even know if y'all know what the elephant in the room is, but I'm gonna point to the elephant.
Go ahead, point to the elephant in the room.
Yeah, Slim.
Point to it.
Kayshawn says, due to my new schedule, I can never make the streams, but love you guys and your hard work. Appreciate you, Kay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
really do, man. Really appreciate you. Yeah, Jokes, you are the elephant in the room.
Go ahead. You want me to go ahead and explain it? Get to it? All right. I'll let you build to it.
Because you already seem angry.
This is T, by the way. This is T, by the way, just so you know.
You seem standoffish. What up, Alice?
What up?
Walks in like bro.
Okay, before we go too far, let's just start with this. Frosty?
You need to use the band hammer on yourself.
I'm glad to hear that. Okay. This movie is not reviewing super well.
Mm-mm.
What I'm going to say about it is extremely divisive. People seem to either hate it
Or love it.
or love it.
Ain't no in between.
It doesn't really seem to be a whole lot in between. Like, I don't know a lot of people going, I mean, it's all right. So here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say. What up, late Ty? Tardy Ty? Happy holidays, my guy. Here's what I'm going to say. Expectations for this movie through the roof. Here's why. The original Matrix movie is a through and through classic. We had a great discussion about this in Movie Club. It did so many things for everything you've seen in films since it came out. It started them, debuted them. It was the catalyst for so much of what we've seen. That's a lot to live up to. The second film and the third film did a good job of staying relatively on par with that, but they weren't great films.
Mm-hmm.
They were good films to round out the trilogy, but they weren't great films. The first film is a great film. Again, super hard to do better than what they did with that joint. So for this movie to be coming so far down the line and with so many upgrades in technology and to have original cast members involved and original writers / directors involved is like, okay, let's get it in. Let's go. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm glad I didn't go to the theater to see this. I'm just going to say it to you. I was very happy to watch it on HBO Max. And here's what I did. I said, you know what? I'm going to put it on and I'm going to wrap presents. And I didn't wrap a single present. I just stared at the screen. Not because I was like, oh, this joint is so good. Because I was like, what are they doing? What are they doing? So here's the problem. I actually think this movie is mediocre at best. And therefore, I hated it because my expectations were higher. Like, I feel like I felt like I needed to watch this and it was going to make me be like, you need to go to the theater to see this. And I didn't feel that at all. Jokes, I know you felt differently, and we're going to get to how you feel in a second. Sin, where are you on this?
Garbage. A complete waste of my time. I was falling asleep the whole time trying to watch it, and trust me, I was wide awake, but it was putting me to sleep. I found it difficult to follow. I found it boring at times. The action sequences were nowhere near on par as the first three. They were lacking to me. Just overall, I didn't like a lot of choices they made with it. It was a tough sit through, and I enjoy watching bad stuff at least for making fun of it. And I couldn't do that with this. It was just like, all right, can I get my 2.5 hours back or whatever, please, with this by the end of it. Certain things I like they tried, but it just wasn't executed well.
You seem to have fallen in love with this joint.
I love this joint. So I think for me, the difference, like how you went in one having a higher expectation for the fourth movie, and I think this is at this point with any franchise, once you cross that 3 and you go into 4, the expectation kind of comes further down at that point. It's just a track record of how it goes.
Mari, get to work. Cracker right is melon.
But I went in low expectation. Well, mid expectations because I was like, it's the Matrix. It's got to be decent. So I like what they did with it, just for the fact of there was a lot of obviously there's major questions going into this jump, trying to figure out. Obviously, Neo and Trinity are on screen. Hold up, we have to get that elephant out of the room because the end of the third one, the questions are answered, which I'm happy they don't try to just shoehorn it and just say, oh, they're just here. The questions will get answered. And with this being like, I'm not gonna go into spoilers. It's a different Matrix. It's not the same Matrix that they were in beforehand. So things are different. And with those things being different, they explain the majority of everything as you go along for it. I think what they tried to play off of a little bit more, obviously nostalgia, they played off, good God, the hell of nostalgia off of this movie. Two, I think they also tried to do, I'm not lying. No, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. But I think they tried to also incorporate some people knowing some things that happen within the Matrix Online game. Knowing some things that happen honestly in the Matrix Online game makes some things make more sense within the movie itself. But obviously, that game came out, at this point, I don't even know how many years ago, and it failed after Sony bought them. But I love what they did with it. A lot of people's issues were Smith and Morpheus. You get explanations for why they are the way that they are, and I think they make sense. I like what they did. The end, I know a lot of people have issues because of what transpires. But I think I think this was a good setup to set, if they're going to do another one or trilogy, whatever it is that they do. I think this just sets the ground, and so they can just really in the next one just take off and just run with it. I think they just needed to get the harder elements out, explaining how Neo and Trinity are back, why you see Morpheus the way that he is, why do you see Smith the way that he is. I think a lot of that harder explanation just got out of the way, and then it'll take off a lot more. But I personally loved what they did with story-wise. Sin, I will agree, action, a little shaky. You know, they tried to do some of the plays off of some of the fight scenes that we've seen in some of the previous movies, but it just didn't land those same effects. But I still think it was executed pretty good.
I'm gonna do my best not to go into full clown mode.
I'm going to full clown mode
because I want to clown you right now, dog. But listen,
for it.
Let me tell you something. There is no excuse for a movie this old, like a franchise this old, to have a new movie that's anywhere near this confusing. And I'm going to tell you why. I am pretty good when it comes to like following what's happening and why it's happening and when it's happening and where it's happening. Like this is just a whole, it's a thing for me, right? I feel like there are questions I could ask you, jokes, about this that you can't answer.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you watch the same movie I watched, right? Because I don't think they did a good job of fixing the mistakes they made with the first trilogy, which was the first trilogy left ridiculous holes. Like there are holes everywhere in that first trilogy.
No, I'll definitely agree with that.
It's stupid. Then they went back later and tried to fill him in later, but it's not really done well. The expectation is that you know that about those old films and you fix that going in. This movie assumes you will just accept whatever it is they tell you because they're telling it to you, and that's it. Like they don't care. Like there's, and I'm gonna tell you what, the ending of this joint is the worst, most cop-out ending I have ever seen in a movie. Like it's so basic, it's so corny, and it's so unsatisfying. Yeah, listen, let me tell y'all right now. Anybody who doesn't want this spoiled, this is your warning. Because I'm getting ready to
about to go
on this joint right now.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, go ahead. I want you to ask at least one of the questions just and see if it.
I'm gonna address a couple of things. Mari says the Matrix movies were never great movies, and the original itself was kind of confusing. They're entertaining and unique, though. You're absolutely right. Entertaining and unique. Confusing is not okay anymore. See, at the time, it was okay for the Matrix to be confusing because everybody was supposed to be confused. It was like, yo, what is real? Now we know. We know what's real. Stop playing with me. Let me tell you something. I came to this movie to see Neo be the one.
I knew you were gonna say. See, I knew you were gonna say that,
Listen to me, dog.
and that's what everybody was expecting.
Here's the thing. I have zero issues with Trinity being an absolute animal. That's cool. That's not what happened. Neo stopped being the one. Trinity became the one, and she's the one that saves the day at the end of the day. This dude can't fly no more. Like, he been out of the joint for longer than her. She's still
60
in the
years.
joint. She don't know or understand anything that's happening. They're in the middle of trying to break her out. She can't even stop these dudes from attacking them while they're riding on the bike. He's doing all the work.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to him? Why can't he do it? Is it because he don't believe? Now it's time for me to believe. It was so like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make a woman the one. They made it like, it's not that he's the one, it's that they're the couple. Like, it takes the two of them to be the ones to break the Matrix down. It's not just him, it's the two of them together. Cool, I can accept that. Let me see it go. That's not what happened. He's Fluke. He actually literally swaps places with her from the end of the first movie, where like he's like dumbfounded and is more like a sidekick, and she's now the one and like leading the whole thing. They just swapped it, and it just feels like they were just like, you know what we're gonna do? This is it. We're doing this for the ladies. We're gonna take the ladies, we're gonna put them up front, and we're gonna make this a thing. And it feels forced. Like, it feels like it doesn't make sense how they did it or why they did it. Right? Like, there's no explanation for why all of a sudden she is the powerhouse she is. If you give me that, I'm with it 100 times over. 100 times over. If somewhere in that movie they would have gone down the path of saying something about like her time being in the Matrix, something was building, something was happening with her. If they'd have gone down the path of saying it turns out Morpheus was wrong and he had the one the whole time and they didn't realize it or whatever, I'm with it. It doesn't matter to me that they make a woman the one. It matters to me that they just did it without putting anything in. Like, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna make her the one. We're just gonna, you know what? And Neo's just like, she used to believe in me, and so now it's time for me to believe in her. So is she the one because he believed in her? Was he only the one because she believed in him? Like, what's happening here? It literally doesn't make any sense. It just happens that way. And so
you're just supposed to accept the fact that now she's so vicious and here with no explanation. Kind of like the King's Avatar, Marcus. Yeah.
She just the joint.
Yeah.
Like, she's
I wasn't.
Nah,
dog. I'll go. The one thing I wasn't going into this movie expecting Neo was going to be full blown Neo. Like, I had to, like, looking at the trailers, like, I could tell, one, he was overusing the stop bullet thing and just doing the exact same thing for like a bunch of times. So I already knew that, oh, this is my man playing a fighting game right now. My man knows one move, and he's going to use the said one move over and over because it works.
Straight spam that move.
So I was already expecting that. I was like, okay, he's a shell of his former self. He's going to have to relearn, do whatever. So I was cool with how that actually played out with it. Yes, they don't explain how Trinity becomes the one or whatnot ever for it. But at this point,
is she the one?
I don't even know if you would. I don't even consider it the fact that she is the one. Yes, she can do the flying.
I think they are, or what they were trying to leave.
They are the one.
They are the one. I kind of see that's what they're trying to do. But I feel like at this point,
trying to be this confusing. We shouldn't even be having this conversation right now.
But I feel like at this point now, I feel like the flying, like all that stuff, I feel like they're just gonna make that like a common thing within the Matrix. Marcus, you say you can explain it, dude. We're going into spoiler territory. It doesn't matter at this point. You can go ahead and
explain it if you think you can explain it, though. By all means, run it down for me. Frosty said, I don't think she is. I think it's them together because the end they're both flying. Yeah, but he couldn't. She had to.
No, but at the end when the jump goes off, he's flying.
Sure. Tell me that, though. You understand what I'm saying? Like, tell it to me. Say, like, the explanation.
1 minute he can't fly, then as it goes off, he's flying away. Like, how did that happen? A minute ago, he could not do that.
Like, clearly, I guess some time has passed, but it's like, how much time could have possibly passed because Slim is still in the joint. Doogie Howser's still in this joint, causing problems.
No, I love my man in this movie though.
He
Best
copied
part of the movie
Neo's
was seeing
source
his
code
jaw get knocked
and
off.
put it into Trinity.
That was the best part
Hey,
of the whole movie.
she
I'll tell
she
you
said she was going to do that early on in the movie. That was the funny part.
why that makes yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
The source code
But
thing.
yeah,
That
it
I
does,
mean, I could definitely understand the source code being, but I mean at this point I don't.
And we didn't need all the flashbacks from part one. Like half the movie, I swear, is flashbacks.
I
yeah, a
think they
lot of it
overdid
is.
it. I will definitely
They
say I
did.
think they overdid it a little bit.
I'm like, I feel like I watched
did-
the first trilogy all over again while watching this.
I
It was
loved
the
how
first
they.
movie anyway. It was like, y'all remember this?
I'm
Yes.
sorry when my man popped out. Morpheus popped out the bathroom. It was like hit the what was it? He said it was like I forget what he said, but he hit like the low voice like Morpheus did in the first jump. And Neo's just like, what? He's like, oh no, I'm just messing with you. I just want to try to make you remember that jump. But
here's what I'll say. There are definite things I like about what they did with the time that has passed. I like IO. I like the idea that what they thought they were doing, like shutting down the machines and making it so humanity isn't what they did. What they did was they made it so that they found that they could live together in peace. Like there is actually a way for. I actually really love that. I love that.
yeah, I thought that was clean.
And I like what they did with that. I like that they're working together and like making strawberries that actually taste like strawberries or whatever. Like I think that's incredible, and I think that was the right path they were going on. And then it just went sideways. Listen, by all means, everybody watch it themselves and just, feel free to come up with your own. We got a lot of work to do. We about to build this community. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to go as alphabetically as I possibly can in this. Here's the deal. I'm not even joking. We had so many people respond to this and so many people put things in that like all of the images, like I ran out of space. Like the actual program won't allow me to upload more images. So we're going to have to move through this and kind of like take stuff out.
Some of those out.
And then load some stuff in because it's just, we almost got to the end, but we didn't quite. But I'm going to tell you what that really means to me is that you guys love us and we love you back. And that's really, really dope. So here's what I want to start with. Yes, I can see it and see it. I
know feng shui.
Ashley Zifa Gonzalez, artist, character designer. Ashley has been on the show with us before. She is quite the character. We've done a bunch of different interviews with her and stuff like that. What I'm going to do is showcase some of her work, and then I'll have
don't
jokes.
Do this now. Hey,
you ain't acting up. It's about to kick you out. You can't put anything in the chat.
The chat just asking me to log in, and I swear to God.
So here's what I want you to do. I just want you to bounce out and come back and see what happens. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna put some images up on the screen, and
we'll find out in a second.
Yeah, we'll make it work. What up, Ant?
You're right, Anthony.
Yeah,
it's not the one.
Was not the one.
It isn't for me. It was for jokes.
It definitely was not for me.
So this is some of Ashley's work.
Dope.
I do refer to her affectionately as Zifa. That's what she goes by. She does a lot of really dope and interesting like character art design. She has recently been doing, like you saw in that first one, artwork on the back of jackets. People have been buying jackets from her and having her do the artwork on them. I personally had this piece commissioned by her, from her, I should say. I absolutely love that jacket. Look at that there, jokes. That is her Instagram link. So
one more comment.
You guys, again, part of what we want to do with this community building is for all of you who are here, who are watching, please go to Zifa's Instagram, check out her Etsy shop, follow each other, communicate with each other. Let each other know that you found them through us. Here again, we want to just keep building the community. So that is Zifa. Next up, the homie BP, Black Squadron
Hey.
Studios. He's an artist, maker, graphic designer, does cosplay, custom toys. He sent some images over. So this is some of the work that he's done. He does cards and stuff like that too. Um, he has a podcast, the Black Squadron podcast, which, in case you didn't know, is a Star Wars podcast. Um, this is again some of his cosplay. Now, I'm gonna tell you that while I'm putting these up, and as Jokes is kind of popping these things up in the chat for you all to click on, please let us know if these links don't work or if you're having trouble with anything, and
Yeah.
we'll try to make sure we do something else to put something together. I am going to say that there are a lot of people who sent things in who can benefit greatly from having something like a link tree that has all of your links in one place. It is, when you're trying to do business and trying to get people to follow you and stuff like that, it's a lot to ask people to go to a bunch of places to do that. And we have found that it is much easier to get people to go to one place to get to all your stuff than it is to try to get everybody to go everywhere. Again, if you are paying attention to what's happening in the chat right now, you will see that people are tuned in on our YouTube. They are tuned in on our Twitch. People are watching via Facebook, all the above. So what's up, Ashley?
Speaking of,
she snuck in.
Right.
She was lurking. Maybe she was trying to avoid Matrix spoilers. So listen, if you have an Instagram, a Facebook, a website, an Etsy, and you know what I mean? Like if you have all those things, get
your link
a
tree.
link tree or something like that. You'll see what J. Robert Dean's version of it is. He does his own, which is great. Doesn't matter to me how you do it, but make it easy.
Make it a one-stop
not
shop.
only for you to give your information in one link to anybody who's trying to find you, but also make it easy for folks like us. If somebody wants to share your information, make it easy for them to do that by doing that. Let me tell you, BP is an awesome dude.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out the
100%.
Black Squadron podcast. Make sure you check out his work. Absolutely, Frosty said she just made theirs like 2 weeks ago. Again, that's cool. That's being ahead of the curve.
Hey, Liz.
Look, she said trash. What's up, Liz? We haven't gotten to you yet, so that's great. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, so make sure you go and you follow BP. He's an awesome guy. He also has a tendency to jump in and do some stuff with us. He's done like wrestling chats with us. He's a big wrestling fan. He was not happy with us when we did like our top DC animated jokes.
Oh,
no. It was a little rough, but that's how it goes sometimes. Okay, so moving on. You're very welcome, Ash. Seriously. Listen, Ash is currently, Miss Zifa is currently working on finishing up her website. And we want to make sure y'all go. It'll be zifastudio.com. It's not quite ready yet, but hopefully in the next couple of days. But again, if you're on the Instagram, if you're on the Etsy, she'll make sure that you have the information. She also does have a Facebook too. So, Comic Logic. You can see the link for Comic Logic. Their link tree is there. They are Northern Virginia's most exciting comic book store. They carry a full inventory of single issues, trade paperbacks, and custom artwork. You will actually see artists later on who have work that is at Comic Logic. So this is the Comic Logic logo. And here are a couple shots of the inside of the interior of the store. The folks who run Comic Logic are just awesome, stand-up, great people. Listen, it's going to sound redundant because you're going to hear me say this about a lot of people. But again, this is the kind of community we want to build, is people who are these kind of people. Upstanding, good, and just kind of look out kind of folks. And so, Comic Logic is an awesome area. They actually shoot a web show there like every Thursday. Grumpy Old Nerds. Just really good folks that know their stuff. And we highly recommend that you follow the links and check them out and support them, because again, good folks over there. Sam says, I heard that if you go to Comic Logic, you get free eye contact. um, that's probably true. Um, J. Robert Dean said, Comic Logic is the only place you can buy my original Bear from Aunt series if they have any left. Awesome to know. They also carry the comic Kidlet and I make, the Mighty Hippopotamus, which y'all need to check out. Y'all need to check that out. Okay, next up, our good friend Liz. Liz De Jesus is an author and creator. Now I'm going to tell you something. Liz and I had a conversation at Ocean City. This is the cover of her upcoming book that is due out in March. Give me a second. I'm going to go back to her email because it is very thorough. I'm going to give you the rundown. So Liz is the author of The Jackets, the Frost series, Morgan, The Laurel, Girl, Mugshots, and Zombie Ever After. She is also the co-founder of the Hokkessin, I hope I'm saying that right, the Hokkessin Art and Book Fair and Anime Day. You can visit her at lizdejesus.com. And her new ABC book, which again is coming out in March 2022. Follow on Instagram just to stay up on it. But I highly encourage you guys to check this out. She was actually nice enough to send like a preliminary copy of the book, which again, it was sent today. I haven't had a chance to look at it just yet, but I will absolutely do so. Liz also makes these really, really dope. Sin, I think you have one.
The Christmas tree, the Mario Christmas tree.
Yeah.
It's really a little old now. I've had it for years. I got to get her to, fix it up for me.
You got to get a new one. Gotta go get
something new.
Yeah. But yeah, Liz is awesome. She is the sweetest, kindest
100%.
person. Yeah, and you absolutely should follow her and follow her work, for sure. Look at Frosty. Frost series, indeed. Not Frosty series.
Frost.
But the Frost series, Frosty. I actually think you'd really like them though. Okay. So next up.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're so welcome, Liz. Next up, the Dean's Family Productions, family-owned and operated company creating children's books and toys. Should we make Liz a mod? Marcus says we should make Liz a mod.
Marcus, I'm down with that.
So, if you guys are not familiar yet with J. Robert Deans, if you hang out in the chat, you will become familiar.
Oh yes,
with J. Robert Deans and the Kidlet. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
So this image was sent. Hold on, let me drop that caption. Drop that caption for me real quick so you can see this. So again, this is just kind of some information about different books they have, some of the toys they have, and so forth. Again, their website is listed there, but we'll have the link so you guys can click there and follow that. I'm gonna give a special shout out to the book you see there, second from the left, Brewing Tolerance. J. Robert Deans was kind enough to send me a copy of it. I read through it. It is an awesome book about exactly what it says. Brewing tolerance and understanding. And he was kind enough to give the folks here, us at Loading Snacks, a little bit of credit for some of what was done there. It was just really, really awesome to see. Now, J. Robert Deans also does commissions, and he is open for commissions. So this is how you can contact him for that. Again, you can go to the website to get a hold of them. But his email is there. His Twitter is there. And again, he's open for commissions. So I have several really awesome commissions from him as well. And then last but not least, like we do, they have a Patreon. And so this is a rundown of what it means if you become a Patreon member for them. So members can receive digital art digests, behind the scenes info on their books, characters, and process, quarterly perks pack with stickers and prints, patron exclusive stories not available anywhere else, artwork and commissions, and more. So become a Grand Punwick Pun Pal today, which he was specific about letting me know he hadn't figured out what to call his patrons until he hit this.
Okay.
Which, yeah, I don't know how the King of Puns didn't quite catch that himself. But again, really awesome folks, awesome family. Shout out to Mama Deans, who usually isn't in there on her own, but like is usually lurking in the background and saying what's up and so forth. J. Robert Dean said, Alinda and Kidlet wrote Tolerance. That is awesome.
Beautiful.
Rhythm and Views, thank you for the shout outs. Kidlet says plus free eye contact included, except through website purchases. So you're gonna have to find another way to get that free eye contact. J. Robert Deans was busy, probably watching us. They were probably working on it while he was watching us. All right, so next up, our good buddy Jose Jaro, who will be on the show with us on Tuesday the 11th, along with some other great friends of ours who are some artists. Joe was on with us recently. He also hung out with us on our panel at Ocean City Comic Con. This is him explaining something that is clearly important and Jokes pretending to listen.
Nah, Chris, he was listening. That was a government that joint. I was government that joint right quick. Jokes was listening right there.
We're listening. Jose is currently the interior artist for Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer for Boom Studios. So here's a couple of images that he did of Buffy. He also does commission work. This is a set of shoes that he did for somebody. He does a bunch of Vans, which I'm not going to post here. If you've been on the show and seen when he was on, you've seen him before. And this is another piece of his artwork there. So, Jose is, again, an awesome guy. I've known him almost my entire life, since I was like 8 years old. So really good dude. We grew up together, and I highly recommend that you go to his Linktree, which makes it easy, and follow him across everything if you would. All right. How we holding up? Everybody good? Are we feeling good? Has everybody been able to get to the links and so forth? Do I need to slow down a little bit?
Yeah, sound off in the comments. No, say sound off in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah, please do. Because I'm beginning to get to the part where I'm gonna have to start like stopping and grabbing some more images and getting rid of images so I can pull stuff in. So next up is Meticulous Skin. So for those of you who have seen Doctor Who in the comments, this is her business here. It is healing, moisturizing, nourishing, natural beard, hair, and skin products. Send us a customer. Ain't that right, beard guy?
Yeah, I got to re-up. I do got to re-up.
My man.
Try a different scent this time.
That turtle piece is incredible. So this is the logo for Meticulous Skin. Jokes has put the links up. Again, listen, I know we're a pop culture show. But let's not forget that those of us who enjoy pop culture also need to take care of ourselves and things like that. So
that's a fact.
Not everything that you see here is going to be something that is specifically somebody who draws or is a cosplayer or, is an author or whatever. We have people that enjoy what we do and who are loyal members and are here in the show consistently. And so I think it's important, again, for us to highlight that all of us are doing something right and working. And so, again, we want to make sure we continue to support each other. Listen, anybody who's making stuff for your body and your face and they got the KitchenAid joint, like that's real right there.
That's that realness right there.
Yeah, that ain't no joke.
I take my job seriously here.
Yeah. So yeah, like if you can see here, just really good healing and nourishing creams and ointments. So please make sure you go and follow. I will also just kind of throw it out there that Doctor Who also has. What's up, Frankie? How are you?
Frankie?
Doctor Who also has some dope cosplay. I just want you to know there's some really dope cosplay out there from Doctor Who. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Yes, Sam Kidlet, hygiene. One of the things that we feel like a lot of people who go to a lot of conventions just don't pay attention
They
to.
lack that.
So
Just
we
a
can
basic shower.
for them.
A basic shower. Like,
let's be here.
Some of them whiffs you get on that con floor.
no.
They're pretty serious. Arcana Legend says we endorse all of Jarro's artwork. Real talk. Real talk. That dude is incredible. Again, we've been friends a very long time. Was that an eczema cream? Doctor Who, was that an eczema cream specifically? What is the Odo rant? Facts, Frosty. Next up, our good friend, Mina Art.
Hey,
Mina is a self-taught newbie artist. She draws various pinup ladies, comic, pop culture, and mashups. And I've got some of her work here. Yes, eczema creams and lotions. Doctor Who says. Musty Man is not a hero, Rod. You are correct. So this is some of Mina's work. She does some of the most awesome pinup work.
Yeah.
A lot of gender bends, super dope, super clean. I actually have that dope Skeletor piece right there myself, which I got from the good folks over at Comic Logic.
Mm-hmm.
Which
there's some connections. I see some community here right now.
These are stickers that you can get from Comic Logic along with some of her other work. So this is a stand at Comic Logic that has her work, which again, she's just a really dope, really sweet individual who again is a newbie artist, but she is self-taught and she is really working on her craft. And you can just see it with everything that she creates. Yeah. It just goes up and up and up. And she's really good about kind of like talking with her community. Like she posted the other day, you know, some of the ideas that she had for stuff she wanted to work on this year, and was asking people, you know, what do you want to see? What do you like in this? And, you know, that kind of thing. So, again, just really awesome individual. She could not be in the chat tonight because she is at work. But
fair enough.
told her we would go ahead and make sure that she got that.
Show some love.
Shout out anyway. Doctor Who, J. Robert Deans wants to know if that's safe for them to use around eyes.
Yes, Marcus. Those
symbiotes. Yes, they are symbiotes.
My man had. Why you gotta do that? Like that.
Yeah. So next up, stickers and magnets. You're right, Frosty. I did not say magnets. I only said stickers. So thank you for pointing that out.
Yes, I need to get some magnets.
So this gentleman, Mike Davis, I met Mike at StellarCon, and he has a company called SAS and Sculptures. It is simply awesome stuff and sculptures. This is a sculpture that he did of Edgar Allan Poe. They actually use this for like when they do like an Edgar Allan Poe parade thing every year. They use this. They actually commissioned him to do one of his wife. But he also had, now he does not sculpt these, but he does. If you look in the background, you can see those predators that are back there.
Clean.
So he's got this like crazy, like Darth Maul predator. Yeah, they do a Poe raid. Yes. Oh man. So yeah, like, so he gets the stuff for those, and you know, the people who do the sculptures for the predators, and people commission him to do different versions of those. He's got like an ice one there and a beach one there. Like it's pretty serious. Yeah, you do.
That mall statue she got.
Yeah, I knew. I was waiting for
right next to that mall statue.
It is crazy. Like that joint. I have a better picture of it. I'll send to you, Frosty. But yes, so Mike, just really good dude. Doing some really dope work, and please just make sure you go and you check him out. SAS and Sculptures. Next up, hold on. I got to move that image. Our homie, the Playful Gorilla. So Playful Gorilla, Alexis Rivera, is an artist, designer, and creator. This is his logo. He makes toys. This is him holding one of his creations. I have that joint here, so
I was say, where is he guys?
I have things sitting on top of it right now because of the way I had to. Christmas was real, y'all. I got collectibles and his stuff is sitting on top of stuff. But anyway, I had one of those. I'm gonna try. I don't know if this is gonna show up. It's really hard to see it because it's a PNG. But
you try. Yeah.
He designed our Loading Snacks breast cancer shirts this year. This is like a little skull sort of Miles Morales joint holding his personal sculpture. Yeah, the banana skinny is just really dope. He does some really, really dope work. And I highly recommend you go and you check him out. He has a give me a second. He's got a I guess it's a podcast. So he does this show called Booze and Buddies that is on Instagram. It's only on Instagram. And so in order to catch like the older episodes or whatever of Booze and Buddies, they're gonna come back. They're done for now. They'll be back in the first quarter. But you can check out the past episodes by going to Playful Gorilla's Instagram and checking out his Instagram reels. One of the really cool things they do with that is they bring another artist on them. So it's him and one other guy. They bring other artists on and they showcase that artist and their work, and they do like a specific piece from them and like allow people to go in and grab that piece and stuff like that. Like it's really cool. Yeah. You look at the face and it looks like the actual person. Yeah, he does really great. Like I actually have a bunch of stuff from him, but he's really dope. Update: Doctor Who's product should come to our doorstep soon. Thank you for shouting him out, guys. See, Doctor Who and Doctor Who is a her, but they have already placed an order. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, y'all.
Ain't waste no time with it. Beautiful,
getting in there, making things happen. So next up, and again, I'm gonna have to take a moment because I have to go in and adjust some. So y'all, talk amongst yourself, have some fun with it. Talk about some of these folks while I make some adjustments to some of these images. Because next up is Rob Van Blake, and I got a couple of images I gotta post. And I had run out of space, so give me a few to kind of take some things out so I can add some things in.
So folks can have it a little bit early. You guys can go ahead and click on it. You can actually go ahead and check out his stuff while he gets the images in line already.
Exactly right. So there's one. As a matter of fact, while I'm doing that, Joe, you got the email open. You could go in and just kind of read out some of the information that's there while I'm trying to get this.
Yeah. Let me pop the other one in there. That'll be his Twitter page as well too.
Yeah. So Rod, another really good, really stand-up dude, a very giant gentleman. Especially next to me. But super kind-hearted, just really putting his time and effort. I got a couple of the images up, so I'm gonna post this one. This is of one of his books, Ancient Illumination. While I try to get some of the other stuff uploaded, and Jokes gets his information put up there. Again, Joseph, if you could pop the email, again, you can read some of the information that's there while I grab a couple more images now that I've got a little bit of space in here, which it might make me a little choppy while it's like uploading the joint in there.
Not too much, because most of what he has in there are kind of just probably the pictures you're going to pop up on there, kind of highlighting him at one of his panels that he was at from WorldsCon in DC this year, Complexities of War. And I know he was on there. I think it was some other folks, writers and creators that he was on the panel with, which is pretty clean.
Yes, he did just out himself, Sam. He did.
Thanks, Ma. I see you in the chat. I'm still waiting on an image from you. Can you send me an image? I need that. Senor
said he said no right up with his stuff.
We know. Listen, we got you. We just gonna point people to the YouTube. We'll work it out. I just want an image. That's all. I just need something so I can pop it in there and show people. This is Rod on his panel. That he was talking about. This is him standing again. Not a small gentleman standing by his banners. Most people don't tower at the height of their own banners.
That is true.
Yeah, that's true. Me and Sin are tall, but this dude is towering over the two of us. So it's like,
Also an avid gamer, like straight up avid gamer.
Always asking us what's up with
Destiny, like straight up, like avid gamer. So make sure y'all follow my man. Frost said, "Holy moly!" He's talking.
Matter of fact, I may have a one I can upload right quick. Let me see if I have that jump.
Hey, listen, it's all good, Senor Nash. Again, here's one of the things I want y'all to know about this. Just text it to me or shoot it in Messenger or something if you need to, Mom. This is something that I want to do like once a quarter. Okay. Mm-hmm. So as people are putting out new product, getting new things done, you know what I mean? As we meet more people, again, we want to continue to build the community and help find ways to push, people's product, to other people. So I just keep in mind that like, we're really trying to make this a regular thing. Let me make sure I have. So I'm gonna pop that up again. Rodney Roberts is coming up next. I gotta pop some info in here because I need to still gotta upload some things. We kind of ran out of some space, which is a good thing.
You just said the words out of my mouth. It's a great thing. You know that people love support.
6'9" isn't that tall.
I'm
definitely
6'9" is not that tall.
Next to each other the next time I see you. Frosty says she's making notes for Comic Logic. Thank you, Liz. I'm glad that you are enjoying this idea. Let me see. So, I am going to show. So, for the next one, I'm going to show. We've done this before. We're doing this a little bit. I did tell people that they could send videos if they have video or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to show this quick clip. Let me pull that down real quick. For Rhythm and Views. I have a cousin who is doing a YouTube channel where they talk about music and do reviews on new stuff and all that kind of stuff. So this is a quick look at what that is.
I am your host, Terrius.
And I am D. Morris, the surfer.
Right. And together we are this
Rhythm and Views.
Together we form like Voltron.
See, now, again, it's a music show. At the end, they form like Voltron, you know what I'm saying? So just keep in mind that, like, we all love other things besides the pop culture stuff we generally talk about on here. This here is the link for Rhythm and Views. Jokes, I just dropped in the private chat.
Yep,
that same
already ahead of you.
Views. So there is the link for the Rhythm and Views YouTube channel that you all can click on. Yeah, because J. Robert Dean's also a very tall gentleman. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm not even gonna ask what y'all shoe sizes are. I'm just moving on.
Please don't.
Let's not even get to that.
Don't get Dean started.
Not at all.
Nah, I know Rob put that out there when we did his interview at was that what was the last con we was just at? Was 15. That Baltimore?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was in Baltimore. That was in Baltimore for sure. Okay, hold on a second. I gotta get this. Rodney did not send me a separate thing, so all I actually have for him is his logo, but that's what we'll put up.
Cool. I'm gonna throw out some links so folks will have some places
Yeah.
to go.
So next up is Rodney Roberts, also known as the Art Nerd. Rodney does freelance art. He's a graphic designer. He does sketch cards for Tops and Upper Deck. He's done some really, really great work. Highly recommend you go and you check him out. There are two of his links, his Instagram and his Facebook.
Got one more.
Please go follow that gentleman and support him. He also has a Spreadshirt shop where you can go and get shirts that have his logo and stuff like that on it. So again, just for all of us here who are trying to be multifaceted and deal with multiple revenue streams, even with dealing with what it is that we do here on a regular, again, we want to find ways to make sure we support that kind of stuff. Gamer Blue.
Gamer Blue.
What's up? What's up?
What up, bro? You ain't send me no links, no nothing. Not that I don't have information, and we will do this again, but you know. I need. So here's what I'm gonna do. Give me a second. I'm going to. Yeah, man, where you been? How you been? We doing this whole community thing. We put the post out. I didn't get anything from you or what have you. I mean, not that you haven't been on the show or whatever, but I know I've seen you doing some new stuff on your YouTube and so forth. Give me a second, and I'm going to grab this and add this in right fast, right quick.
Make sure y'all tell y'all folks that we're doing stuff like this once a quarter, so they can,
Yeah,
get on it and be on the
gonna be on it,
be on the know. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you're definitely welcome, Rod.
Oh no, you gotta dress them the right way. It's the Rod. You gotta do it right.
Rod.
Look,
you gotta do it right.
I don't know how to call a grown man the Rod. Like I just what?
I mean, listen. Okay, so up next, Susan Dortch. Moms does Avon, y'all.
Oh man,
selling all kinds of Avon product, has been for years. Jokes, you got that link for her. If you could
come in right now,
get that posted. And while you're doing that, since now I do have images from Senior Nash, I'm gonna grab those.
Did we mention that?
Particular Skin just sent me some cosplay images. I give me a few, and I'll be able to get to that.
Did we mention that Rodney Roberts does a podcast as well?
We did not. So if you would just run that down for me, that would be incredible. All right, here we go.
Podcast. Let me see if I can get that information.
This image. Yeah, so he has a podcast. It's called Meanwhile at the Podcast. Yeah, really good. Listen, dope podcast. They cover some of everything. They have certainly been kind enough to shout us out on the podcast for sure. Rodney is a great he's just a great dude, man. It sounds redundant. I'm saying it a lot. But it's the truth.
Because it's truth.
Yeah,
it's just the type of people that we like to surround ourselves with. Yeah.
And then when we meet one, you guys have those same type of communities as well too, and it just continues to grow.
Just great, positive, fun people all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an important thing to understand that, like, you are the company you keep. It's just that's just a very, very real thing. So, jokes, go in and grab, because now there are some other individual stuff for the Instagrams and so forth. Not just for Javon, for Senior Nash, but for absolutely Aisha too, which is in the first email, but now there's an actual link there, so that might make it a little easier for you to grab it. Give me just a moment, and we'll make sure. Again, I'm really, really excited about the outpouring of people who are like, yeah, show my stuff and hook us up here. It's dope to kind of have that happen. And I'm again super excited that we even had the opportunity to do something like this. I think that our roots in a lot of what Loading Snacks is and has been us being more or less on the ground level with people at their tables at conventions, like consistently trying to do interviews with people who we would love to get their information and so forth out to other people, and that just kind of never went away. And so I think that just because of that, we've just decided that this is a thing that we should do this like once a quarter.
Definitely.
So let me hook the guy up. Yeah. Oh yeah, we were supposed to set that play date up for you and Jokes and Chuck E. Cheese a long time ago.
Yes.
We were supposed to
we
do
got like
earlier
8 months, so
we got a little time. Hey, listen, man, we don't have to wait for your birthdays to have a play date. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's any reason why we need to do that. Senor Nash, small couch reviews. Give me a second. I'm grabbing images.
First one.
The system is being a little like, you are doing too much.
Hey, we be pushing. We push Restream. We push Restream to be the best version of itself. So all this stuff that we be doing,
we really do.
Yeah, I want y'all to know that Restream really seems like they are like watching what we're doing and like building themselves around.
Hey, when you stream 99% more than the other streamers.
Yeah.
Senor Nash, man, small couch reviews. They have a YouTube. Joseph, you could post that YouTube link for me. I greatly appreciate that. He was kind enough to make sure that he called out the fact that he does his YouTube, one of his oldest friends, Sam. So the two of them do their small couch reviews. And his fiance, Aisha, is a cosplayer and streamer. I am going to give me a second and I'll grab the image and throw that up there. Jokes, you have the link.
Yep, throwing that one in there. Side.
This is the so there's a I'm gonna show you, there's like a logo for it, and then there's also an image that I'll put up along with that. And I think that'll almost round us out, y'all. Again, I do have Doctor Who was kind enough to send a couple of cosplay images, so I will throw those up real quick. I just have to grab them.
Okay.
So again, do me a favor, make sure you are following these folks. Go in, hit the Instagrams, hit the Twitch, follow. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all the things that come along with, for those of you who know that these kinds of things and deal with these kinds of things, you know what it means to have somebody, follow you, to hit the like, to subscribe, to share, to support. These are things that we ask of people to do for us, but we also don't mind asking people to do that for other folks. Especially when we believe in those people and what they're doing. I've known Javon for a long time now.
Beautiful, Liz.
Liz says she's already followed a bunch of people. There is a lot of chat to get through. Again, let me just say again, if you have multiple places, multiple links, get yourself something like a link tree. Try to make it as easy as possible for people to follow you. Make it as easy as possible for people to get to where it is that you have content. Content is king, but it won't matter if people can't get to it. And the easier you can make it for people to get to the content you have, the more likely they are to consume that content. That does not matter whether you are a business owner who is selling skincare products like Doctor Who is. If you have more than one, if you have a Facebook and you have a regular website and and an Instagram or whatever, one link where everybody can go and just get it.
Mhm.
If you make the decision that the link I want to give people is the place where stuff sells, then by all means,
Make it that
look
one.
at the one joint that you do. But do the best you can to try to make it as easy as possible for the consumer to do the thing that you're asking them to do, which is follow you, support you, and you want that support across everything you're on. So if you have we have a Twitch and we have a YouTube and we have a Facebook and we have an Instagram and we have a TikTok and we have with all of that stuff, it's a lot
Let me get it
asking
for you
people
one
to
more
go
time, J-Rob.
and do all those things. Try to make it as simple as possible. If you can use all the same name across everything, it doesn't always work out that way. But I also feel like some of the things that we should be doing as a community are sharing tips and things like that with each other. So look, if you see somebody who you think is doing something really cool and as a cosplayer, there's this person who is doing I don't know, like a calendar, or they shoot really great images and I think you'd be great paired with this photographer or whatever, then share that information with them. You know what I mean? Put those kinds of things out there. Hey, I see you have a small business. Did you hear about the such and such business expo that's happening at whatever, right? Let's be that kind of a community for one another. If you see us post come March that we're getting ready to do something like this, and you've been featured here, but somebody else who could maybe use that boost, or you think would be great, to have an opportunity to be showcased here, by all means, have them send that information to us. When you see that, have them follow us so that they can see the post, and so forth when that time comes. Being a community is work. It means working together. It means doing things for each other. It means helping each other out. It means giving advice. It means being accepting of advice. J. Robert Dean's right there. Pro tip. Social media isn't free. You're the product. So when possible, use your own website to create a link hub. So again, that's the thing that he does. Linktree does have its limits on what you can do. Kayla says I only post now and then, but there's my Instagram if you'd like to follow. So please follow Kidlet.
Yeah. Make it easy.
Kidlet is an awesome and young individual. Yeah, if you grab that and just pop that up for me, joke, so people can just click on it, that would be great. Listen, I want to thank everybody for following people today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and hanging out in the chat with us. Look, we do this show weekly. We're going to have another show in a couple days because we're going to do something for New Year's. Every year at New Year's, we do a little something called Popeyes and Pajamas. And back in the day when, people could get together and it was okay, we would do that. We would get together and, we'll go live. Last year, we did Extra Life again. We're not doing that this year. We're just going to hang out, play some games. We're going to talk about some things from pop culture. We might do some top 10 things. And then next week
we'll be extremely drunk.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, we'll be back at our regular time on Tuesday. I'm trying to get the two folks who are joining us for our Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel at MagFest, which is next weekend.
Next week.
So on Saturday at 10:30 in the morning. So Substantial and Shay the Red will be
Great
at the
people.
panel with us. I'm going to try to get them both on the show with us next week. We'll see how that turns out, schedule permitting. Frosty says, hoping to be streaming and creating more by then. Just let us know. You know what I mean? We're all about it. Let's see. Rob Van Blank has an Anchor link that's up there. So you guys make sure you go and you check that out. J. Robert Dean says, I'm basically just on Twitter other than the Patreon, but Gage is right. Get your name everywhere. Because just knowing the J. Robert Dean's is only me is a comfort. Facts. The following week on the 11th, we're going to have a packed show. Currently right now, the plan is to have Brian Turner, Jerry and Penny Gaylord and Jose Jarro join us on that show. We'll be talking about some of the work that they're doing, some of the things they have going on, as well as just kind of recapping some of our personal favorite pop culture moments from 2021. And maybe even a little bit of what we're looking forward to for 2022.
Attack on Titan first episode would have dropped by then.
About to be,
You gonna watch it, Sin?
I'm saying it right now. I'm watching it every single week, And I'm gonna record myself reacting and just upload it to TikTok like a little
my
clip.
man.
Yeah, so I'm all aboard with that going into 2022. So I'm
Can't wait
episode
to see
1.
your
I'm
face
sitting
after
down
this episode.
and watching it. I had a friend I've been talking
What
to
up,
all
Stephen?
day. Friend I've been talking to all day. He just got back in Attack on Titan this weekend, so he's been hitting me up like every couple episodes, like, oh my gosh. He got to season 4. I was like, yeah, here you go, bro. And he just hit me. Was like, this is a whole different beast. Like, yep,
y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready.
That's the cliffhanger we've had to sit with for a year, bro, to get to the end.
Stephen, glad to have you jump in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For those of y'all who don't know, Stephen Jones is the auditorium himself. That dude does some incredible work. Man, let me tell y'all what that dude did, man. This man sent me original film strip clips from Spider-Man.
Really?
Oh yeah. You can't see him. I'm not showing them to you, Joe. You too young to remember them jumps. Rod says the podcast he sent is a link. Okay, it's a link to where him and a couple of creatives talk all the nerdy stuff. Welcome other creators to come and promote their stuff as well.
Okay, sweet.
Just don't want to sell all the time. So that's dope. So again, I'm like what we're trying to do here. So again, like anything you have, that you're doing where the community can get involved and you can bring other people in. That's the kind of thing we're trying to do here. Again, is continue to build. You all get to see Auditorium's work every week. It sits back there on Sin's wall.
Yep.
Every week.
Staples in this room.
Yeah, I really appreciate those movie sales, man. Those joints were incredible. I was like up in the light, like it was real. It was real out there. So we'll be back Friday night, late, going into New Year's. We'll do a countdown. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna have some Popeyes. We're gonna be wearing our pajamas. Ordered my loading snacks pajamas a little too late. They're not gonna get here in time, so I'm gonna have to do something different. I ain't figured that out just yet. But there'll be something again next week's show. We'll be a little more regular, but we're gonna try to make sure we get the folks who are gonna be on the panel with us at MagFest. That weekend we'll be at MagFest. MagFest is going down, y'all. Thursday through Sunday. It is going to be the truth. So psyched for that. Frosty says she finally got a frame for Auditorium's Mall.
Yeah, Popeyes.
Dope.
Hey, that's what's up. Glad you got a frame for that. Yeah, listen, Popeyes and pajamas, man. That's how it goes. Listen, everybody goes. They pick up some Popeyes. They get some dry buttery biscuits. I don't know how that works, but they're dry and buttery at the same time. They get some dry buttery biscuits. You know what I mean? We eat Popeyes and we hang out. We play games. You know what I mean? Like, it's great. Yeah, man. MagFest is gonna be the truth. I have every intention of losing my voice that weekend. So, not too much though. I got to be able to talk on the 11 when we having big people on.
Right.
Movie club folks. Here's what's going down. We will be deciding on a movie for January, probably within the next couple of days. We're doing a little trick. Each of us who are admins are all going to pick a movie, and every other month, that movie is going to be the movie that we watch. So, like 6 months out of the year is basically done, and then we'll do votes for the remaining ones. I want y'all to know that we have stuff planned out through like, I was going to say October, but technically November because Extra Life is always the first week in November. And like this year, Baltimore Comic-Con is like the Halloween weekend. It's like the weekend right before when Extra Life.
Anime NYC is the same weekend as well this year.
And then
it's all
NYCC
right now. Things are already starting to stack on top of each other. It's going to be a lot of work this year, but we're going to do our best to get all through it all together. What you mean you're not surprised, Frosty? Yeah. So we have lots and lots and lots brewing. So now that we have taken the time to hook everybody else up, Jokes, you have a job to do.
Yes, sir.
We miss you, Frosty. You're not in the comments enough. That there is our link tree. Yeah, somebody has to shut Marcus down every now and again.
Banhammer has to be there.
Like that anymore. That is our link tree. Again, if you are following us in one place, we would greatly appreciate it if you follow us everywhere else. Don't be afraid to like and share and subscribe. That share part specifically. We love that y'all like stuff, but like if you see something we're doing, you like it a lot, share with other people who you think would like it a lot. That just helps us. It helps us grow. We greatly appreciate it if you at least check out our Patreon. We do have some very specific stuff that only goes to Patreon. We are working on some new things and we'll be making some changes as the beginning of the year is really running up on us right now and getting ready to hit us head on. So there's a lot brewing. But please make sure you do that and check us out. And speaking of our Patreon, Sin, you have a job to do.
Yes, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, and Tyrone Carson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly, truly appreciate it.
The homie, late Ty.
In the building.
Oh man, 1000% fam. You late, but I'm glad you're here. You know what I mean? Appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great rewatch. You know what I mean? Plenty of links to hit in the
Oh,
chat
yes.
there.
Oh yes.
So again, you all, thank you so much for hanging out with us and being a part of our community. Thank you for helping us to grow the community. And clicking on links and meeting people here that maybe you didn't know before, going and supporting one another. Again, it's a big deal to us. That's what we want to see happen. Thank you all so much. We'll see y'all Friday. And then again, Tuesday. You're welcome, Frosty. Thank you. Yeah. We'll see y'all for New Year's. Popeyes and pajamas, y'all. Friday night. Yeah, not that Marcus Houston.
Not that Marcus Houston.
Not naked Marcus Houston. Not Batman Marcus Houston. It's a different Marcus Houston. With that, we're out. Toodles and lose.